Hello, guys. Welcome to a weekend special edition on Pious Football. As I always do, I make a session at the end of every footballing weekend across all the 5 European leagues. I discuss games review. So I'm going to do a review of all the games, the tactical side of it, and also add a bit of pertinent issues around football that happened in relation to those games, and also in general terms all the news that are coming from football circles across all the 5 major European leagues now. This weekend was tough for some of us, but the job has to be done. So I'm going to start right at the camp of Tottenham Hotspur. They played on Saturday against Burnley at the Turf Moor. Burnley conceded 5 goals. They scored 2, but it wasn't enough. They are still yet to record a win in the new Premier League season. Remember, they were promoted to the Premier League last season after winning the championship, playing fantastic football. They had high hopes for the new season, but unfortunately for them, it's not looking good for Burnley at all. Vincent Company and his charges need to improve. They had a couple of chances. They scored 2 goals, but it's they need to start recording wins in the Premier League. Fine, they've had some tough spells. They've played Man City, now they've played Tottenham. I think they lost to another club over last weekend. But Tottenham Hotspur are flying. They are flying. They are yet to lose a game in the Premier League. They have, I think, they have 7 points from a possible 9. They are playing fantastic football. One would think that after Harry Kane left, they are going to struggle, but Postecoglou and his charges are doing tremendously well. Son Heung-min scored a hat-trick. He scored a hat-trick over the weekend. James Maddison, in playing as a number 10, is performing so well. Beautiful exchanges with Song in the final third. And then Mano Solomon. Remember, I made an episode about Israeli football, and I mentioned Mano Solomon's transfer to Tottenham Hotspur. He provided an assist for Song's, first goal. So, Tottenham Hotspur are flying. They are doing so well. It comes back to my initial assessment of the Tottenham team when I said that we have to watch out for Postecoglou's use of inverted fullbacks in midfield, Destiny, and I made special mention of Destiny Udogie, the right back, and then also the left back, and then Pedro Porro also playing in the as a number 3, coming in into the midfield when they are attacking. They are playing so well. They overload their midfield when they have the ball and they are approaching the final third, and then they sort of overcrowd the midfield with their players, using the inverted laterals, and this sort of creates a lot of problems 1-on-1, 1v1 against their opponents. They exposed Manchester United in I think last 2 weeks when we lost that game. It wasn't purely based on tactics. I think Ten Hag had the tactics right on that game, except that the players played without any form of conviction, any form of a sense of urgency, and it showed again in the game against Arsenal today. I'll come to that game and I'll talk about it. Ten Hag either needs to start drumming his philosophy into the playing patterns of the players, or he's going to find himself wanting at the end of this season if he goes trophyless and doesn't qualify for the Champions League. So Tottenham Hotspur are doing great so far. They are not in Europe, so they are going to play just week in, week out. They only have to play the league because they just left. They were evicted from the the Carabao Cup by Fulham. I think somewhere in the midweek. Is it midweek? Yeah, midweek. So Tottenham just have to play their league games. They rest for a week and they play their league games. So they are going to be very dangerous to play against. And I hope that they are going to take advantage of this to qualify for the top 4, which probably is going to be very difficult for them to do. But the way they are playing now, the confidence that they have, I mean, the sky is the limit for Tottenham Hotspur. Also at the camp of Manchester City, I mean, what do I say about Man City? I mean, they are flying. They are the league champions. They won the treble, and you would think that after winning the treble, they'll kind of take their foot off the pedal a bit, kind of slow down. But they have no intention of slowing down. They just started off where they left last season. They are yet to lose a game. They are the only club who have taken all the maximum points from the games they've played, and they won 5-1 against Fulham. I mean, Fulham had issues with the officiating. They believed that they had a goal that was disallowed, but I mean, what can you say? City were going to win the game nonetheless, because Haaland, getting an award for the PFA Player of the Year on Tuesday. He gets an award for the European UEFA Best Player of the Year award on Thursday, and then on Saturday he goes on and scores a hat-trick. So I mean, Man City are flying. They cannot do any wrong right now. They are just continuing from where they left off, and Pep Guardiola, although he's not been on the bench, everything on the pitch is Pep Guardiola-ish. I mean, his handwriting is all over the way they play, their playing patterns, how they take advantage of spaces, their fluidity in the final third, decision making in the final third is all excellent. So I mean, Pep Guardiola, Man City, they look like favorites for the Premier League once again. So I mean, nothing much more to say about that. Now Chelsea, there's so much to say about Chelsea. If I say that I want to analyze Chelsea, I'm going to sleep here tonight. I'm not going to finish. All I can say is that for now, I think Pochettino needs to be up and doing, because Chelsea right now, they are so predictable. When you are playing against Chelsea, they are so predictable because they are playing a 3-back system. Now, anytime you play a 3-back system, it means that you're going to use a lot of the what do you call the full backs, okay, the wing backs. We call them the wing backs. So we are going to use a lot of the wing backs. They're going to be the point or the focus of your attack. Now, the problem with the 3-back system is that it makes you become too predictable. Everybody knows you are going to pull in a cross from the wing backs. The wing backs are going to try and pull in a cross, whether a low cross or a high cross, is still a cross. So the opponent sets up in a way that they are going to be able to overcome those swings, in swingers or out swingers coming from the wings. Now, if they can do that, then they are halfway to figuring you out in how you attack. Now, the problem with Chelsea is that they need to start operating also from the middle. They need to be very effective through the middle, okay, because right now the middle is not really working. A lot of noise has been made about Moises Caicedo because of the price tag, but I don't think you can blame the kid so much, because honestly, he's a defensive midfielder. What else can he do? I mean, he's not a number 10. Okay, so I think it is probably the reason why they brought in Palmer, Cole Palmer from Manchester City. But I mean, he needs to start playing, because now they don't have the injured what do you call him? The Frenchman. What's his name? I've forgotten his name. Sorry. The Frenchman they brought from Leipzig. Okay. Nkunku. Okay. Christopher Nkunku is injured. Now he is the man who was making them very effective playing through the middle. So I mean, where Chelsea is attacking during preseason, you could see that they are attacking right from the wings. Ben Chilwell is coming in from the left wing back, and then Reece James coming in from right wing back, and then Nicholas Jackson and then Christopher Nkunku working their way through the middle. So it's like a 3-pronged attack coming at you. But right now, Nkunku is injured. Now they only have the wings to attack, and they've become very, very predictable. So Chelsea need to figure things out. Pochettino needs to figure things out very fast. So far they've only have one win in the Premier League against Luton Town. So I mean, they need to improve, and then hopefully they can start winning some games. But it doesn't look good for Chelsea at all. I think that maybe Cole Palmer coming in through the middle would help them, but let's see how it goes. Now Liverpool also doing very well. They won an easy game today at Anfield. I mean, the manager uh, what's the my goodness, the game against Arsenal today sort of got me a bit off my usual self, but yeah, Jurgen Klopp at Anfield against playing against Aston Villa, they won 3-0. Klopp was talking about the nature of the game. He said everything was perfect for them. They had a perfect day. The weather was good. The pitch was great. The fans were amazing. And then I mean they won 3-0. So I mean, what else can you see? I think that this time around he started. Darwin Núñez had a chance to start. Mind you, he's not been starting the Premier League for some time because of inconsistencies. He started the game. He was very effective, but he couldn't score a goal, unfortunately. He could have scored a hat-trick, but as always, like I have always criticized Darwin Núñez, he's too rash in his decision-making in the final third. And then he sort of, it causes him to make easy things difficult, okay? He makes things that's supposed to be easy, he makes them look difficult. And that has been his problem all along. I mean, Darwin Núñez. Now, Szoboszlai scored a goal, first goal for at Liverpool at Anfield. He's done tremendously well. He looks like he's going to be a star in the making. He's one of those transfers that has gone under the radar. Nobody is talking about it that much, but that guy is going to be a star for Liverpool. He looks the part, his physique, I mean, his technique, and then his pace, his intelligence on the ball, off the ball as well, his movements, everything looks good. So I mean, Szoboszlai pushing Liverpool. Mohamed Salah also in the mix. I mean, he scored a goal. I think that would be his 150 games that he's played that he scored. Okay, see, so he scored in 150 games for Liverpool. That is quite a feat for Mohamed Salah. It shows his consistency, and I mean, in the face of the bids that are coming from Saudi Arabia, Al Ittihad, mind you, the team that has Jordan Henderson there. They have Steven Gerrard as the manager. It's no surprise that they are looking to sign Mohamed Salah. They submitted a £150 million offer for Salah over the weekend, but it was turned down by Liverpool, swiftly turned down. Klopp has said that Salah is not going anywhere. And now Szoboszlai, after the game, confirmed that Salah has told the players that he's not going to move. He's going to stay with them. So, I mean, maybe if it's like a rumor, it's a rumor only among media. At Liverpool, there is no chance that they're going to allow Salah to leave. Remember, I said on Pious Football in my previous episode that Salah just recently signed a new contract. So it kind of beats my imagination why, I mean, they would think that Salah would leave at this point in time. Maybe he might consider leaving next year. But for now, Mohamed Salah is staying at Liverpool. And also, what else? The midfield of Liverpool, I said, during preseason that playing Cody Gakpo in midfield seems a bit weird. It seems very odd. Liverpool play a 4-3-3. That's how they play. Now, if you play Cody Gakpo in the midfield three, you are shortening yourself in midfield because the guy is attacking minded. He's going to try and move forward. He doesn't have the mold or the cast, to play as a midfielder. So I mean, it baffled me when Klopp was trying to play him in midfield in preseason. But anyway, that was preseason. He was trying things out. That was the purpose of preseason, to try things out. And it seems like it didn't work. And then he tried to play that in the first game in the Premier League against Chelsea, but it didn't really work out. So he's reverted to playing McAllister, Szoboszlai, and Curtis Jones. Sometimes he will play Endo. I mean, Endo, they signed from Germany. But I think that Gravenberch coming into the team, that would help Thiago Alcantara if he's not injured and he comes back. Liverpool will have very good options in midfield. So, I mean, they have a standing McAllister, Szoboszlai in midfield. So maybe one of Thiago Alcantara, Gravenberch, or Endo can swiftly come in there and help the midfield. So I mean, a midfield three solid. They look solid today. They weren't really worried so much. Cody Gakpo came in to replace I think Darwin Núñez late in the game. I think Luis Diaz also at left wing at the left wing is also doing really well. It's good to have him back from injury for Liverpool fans. I think that is going to be very important for them this season. So I mean that's just about it for Liverpool. I think they look great. Arnold is the only disappointment for them since he got injured, had a hamstring, got substituted for a hamstring injury. Klopp has said that there's going to be a scan on that to see how far the injury goes, but I'm hoping that it's not so serious. I mean, he was just called up to the England squad, so an injury at this time seems really bad for him. But let's see how it goes for Liverpool and Trent Alexander-Arnold. He was also the captain. He captained the team for the first time. Mind you, Van Dijk, who is supposed to be the captain, got a red card in the previous game. So Liverpool looking good. Let's see. I'm sure they're going to continue on that trajectory after the international break. Also at the camp of Manchester United, my goodness, so many talking points. Ten Hag lost again. Second game of the season that we've lost already. We are behind City. We are already 6 points behind Manchester City. I'm not saying we are going to win the league, but I mean, if you play the league it's so early and you are already 6 points behind, the top, I mean, it doesn't look good for you at all. And the record of Ten Hag against big teams is very worrying, especially when he's playing away. We've lost 9 games. We've played 9 games. This is the 10th game we've played against the top 9 oppositions in the Premier League away, and we are yet to win any of them. Which is pretty bad. It's really bad, and I think that Erik ten Hag needs to work on this situation now. My problem is I have 3 talking points from this game. I said I'm not going to be emotional. I'm going to just be tactical about it, see things from the tactical perspective, and ask a few questions. Ten Hag has had 3 transfer windows to influence his philosophy on the pitch. Now, some fans are still making excuses for him that some of the players are old. Some of them are not Erik ten Hag's. They don't know how to hold the ball. If you look at the game that we played against Arsenal today, much of the possession we had was in our final. It was in our area. Okay, when we were supposed to advance the ball in the opponent's final third, and try and play some passes together with some sort of drive and a sense of purpose to score a goal, we were found wanting. It's as if when we get forward, we don't know what to do with the ball. Aside giving the ball to Rashford, we didn't have anything else to do with the ball until Rasmus Højlund came in, and then he became the target so that we pass the ball to him. He is able to hold the ball down. He's able to hold the ball down, and then also lead the ball forward to initiate an attack. But I'll talk about Rasmus Højlund very soon. But right now, my talking point is number 1. What is Ten Hag's playing philosophy? Does he have a playing philosophy? Because the way he played in Ajax was that he played fluid, football, passing football. He took advantage of spaces in the opponent's final third, exploited spaces, and then movement. There was a lot of movement. But at Manchester United, he said at the beginning of the season that he's going to be, trying to influence a philosophy of being the team with the quickest transition in the world. He wants to produce a team that has the quickest transition in the world. Now, what that simply means is that we are going to do a lot of smash and grab. Basically, what it means is that, how to transition from defense to attack within a swift second. Okay, so one moment we'll be defending, the next moment we'll be attacking swiftly, okay, or one moment we'll be in midfield, the next moment 1, 2, 3 passes, and then we are in the 18-yard box and we are scoring a goal. That is what he's trying to say, and that for me is a counter-attacking philosophy. When you want to become the fastest or the quickest team in transition, it is for me a sort of counter-attacking philosophy. But that is not the kind of football he was playing at Ajax. That was not what we imagined as United fans. And I mean, when I say we, I mean majority of us. We watched how Ajax played. Okay, look at how Ajax played at the Santiago Bernabeu against Real Madrid. That was how I was picturing Manchester United playing for the future. But if you look at the team now and how we are playing, it's kind of really bad. There is no sense of urgency in the game. The players don't know what to do with the ball when they are advancing, except pass the ball to Rashford, who himself, is still playing like a teenager, making poor decisions on the pitch, and enough is enough. I mean, it's time for us to start playing the football that we saw him play at Ajax. I mean, like I said, he's had 3 transfer windows to buy the players that he thinks can influence that philosophy or that playing style he wants to play. Now, we were lenient with him last season because we didn't have the kind of players that he wanted, and he tried playing that fluid passing football. It didn't work out, so he switched to a more pragmatic style of play, and it did work for him up to a point in time. But this season, we will not accept that sort of football anymore. We want the football we were promised. And for me, that is what I say. I speak for myself. And I say that I want to see United play, beautiful possession, fluid attacking football. It doesn't matter the team we are playing. We want to see the team be more, show a sense of urgency, show a sense of direction and purpose when they are moving the ball forward. Okay, we can't play 1-2 passes. We cannot play through passes, in quick, tight spaces. We cannot play, any sort of dynamic football in the final third. Okay, we play the ball at the back amongst ourselves, and then when we get to the middle of the pitch, we make a loose pass, and then we lose possession, and then we start defending again. That cannot, continue. That kind of football cannot continue. If you look at the analysis of the game that the manager, made, I mean, it shows that he's not even concerned. He says the performance was good. I don't think the performance was good. I don't think the performance was good at all. If you look at how we played, Arsenal even gave us the some spaces in midfield. At a point in time, we could have exploited some of the spaces. I don't know if some of you observed, I think somewhere in the second half when the score line was 1-1, when Rasmus Højlund came in, he was trying to get a goal. Okay, so he was making the movement and everything. There was this instance that, Eriksen played the ball to Casemiro, who was standing just a little bit, a few yards away from the 18-yard box. Now, Højlund thought that Casemiro was going to turn and play a true ball to him. Casemiro took the ball, he paused, and then he started doing this. Calm down, and he played the ball back. So we were playing for a draw. And you cannot do that. That was somewhere around the 70th minute, and you are playing for a draw when you could actually win a game. And Arsenal deserved to win, honestly, because from the starting to the finish, they were on the front foot. They were attacking us. They were attacking us with every opportunity they got. And so, I mean, for me, the way I see it, United need to show that we are ready to compete. Because right now, the players don't show they are ready to compete when they are playing against any big opposition. They only do that when they are playing against the minnows, the small teams. But that, for me, is not the mentality of a top club. If you want to be a top club, you need to attack Bayern. If you want to be a top club, you need to attack Liverpool. If you want to be a top club, you need to attack Real Madrid. Okay, you cannot play all these big teams and be defending all the time. That is a small club mentality. You cannot play counter-attacking football in the big games and then play open, attractive football against small teams. It is not good enough. Erik ten Hag must start doing the what he promised. He must start doing what we expect from him. Otherwise, after the season ends and we don't win a trophy and we don't qualify for the Champions League, he's going to find himself wanting. Now, I want to talk about PSG. PSG won against Olympique Lyon. They won, I think, 4-1. Mbappe got a brace. Spaniard Marco Asensio scored a goal and made an assist. I think he was the man of the match in the game. Hakimi also got one. And Esnyama, the Ghanaian international from Olympic, who just signed for Olympic Lyon, played for 75 minutes. So I mean, it's a good run out for the kid. 75 minutes shows that he's going to get a lot of playing time. So it's all good for that PSG. Right there. And also, I want to talk about the new signings. I think the Portuguese Goncalo Ramos came in the 75th minute to replace Marco Asensio. I think Colomwani was a bit too late in the transfer window to have started this game. So I mean, we'll see how Luis Enrique will structure the forward line going forward. I'm interested in how the four players, I mean Colomwani, Goncalo Ramos, Ousmane Dembele, and Mbappe are going to be used up front. Mind you, Marco Asensio is also in the mix and he's doing so well. Like I said, he was the man of the match in this game. So it's going to be interesting to see how Luis Enrique will shuffle the pack up front so that everybody will get playing time. It's going to be very difficult, but let's see how it goes. Also, at the camp of Real Madrid, another late Jude Bellingham goal saved the day for Real Madrid. Like I said, the talking point is the same. Real Madrid are going to struggle to score goals this season, and it shows. They've been winning 2-1, 1-0, and all that. So 95th minute win for Real Madrid by Jude Bellingham. Joselu came on and scored. Like I said, with Vinicius injured, it only makes sense that the only striker you bought, the only natural number 9 in a team should start. And so, I mean, for me, I think Joselu should be starting every game from now onwards. And it shows, and I said this in my previous episode, that he needs to start Joselu. Joselu started and he scored. And then also, I think Rodrigo did well. He does need to learn how to convert penalties. Mind you, he was one of those players who missed the penalty at the World Cup for Brazil. He missed the penalty again yesterday. But overall, Real Madrid are doing well. They've won. They are yet to lose, which shows the character they have. So, I mean, let's see how... Jude Bellingham, like I said in my last episode, Jude Bellingham can't build them out all the time. He's not even a striker. He's an attacking midfielder. Probably a very good technical ability helps him to play in that role, because for me, Jude Bellingham is more of a central midfielder, but now he's been deployed as an attacking midfielder and he's doing really well, but he cannot save Real Madrid all the time, so they need to find goals elsewhere. Rodrigo needs to come to the party, and then some of the midfielders also need to start scoring. So let's see how Real Madrid will go now. At the camp of Barcelona, late winner, 87-minute penalty for Barcelona, converted by Robert Lewandowski, gave Barca a 2-1 win over Osasuna, who were playing at home. I was watching the game. I watched the first half. I couldn't watch the second half because I had to prepare for this episode, but it was overall a good game. I wanted to watch Lamine Yamal. I had a chance to watch a little bit of him. His movement is good. He has great technical abilities. Obviously, he's young, so he has pace. So, I mean, the future is bright for Barcelona and Lamine Yamal. But I think that Barca have been struggling. They struggled in their previous game. They drew. Now they almost drew this game. So, I mean, going forward, of course, they don't have Araujo. Araujo is injured. Pedri is injured. But with João Cancelo and João Felix also added to the team, hopefully they will start firing on all cylinders after the international break. Also at the camp of Bayern won 2-1. This time around, Harry Kane couldn't score. I watched the game a bit. I think I watched up to about the 88th minute. After Mathys Tel scored his goal, I stopped watching because I had to do something else. Mathys Tel, the striker, the French striker, 19 years of age, I think 18 or 19 years, full of potential, came on, and then immediately he scored in the 87th minute. But I think overall the game, if you watch the game, what I would say is that Leon Goretzka and this guy, the midfielder they bought from Leipzig, RB Leipzig. Kendry Lima was really good. He was really good for them going forward. He had a couple of chances, moving. He plays a sort of a box-to-box kind of role, and then I think he interchanges once in a while with Leon Goretzka in midfield. Mind you, that Joshua Kimmich is kind of not really favored in midfield by the coach Thomas Tuchel for reasons best known to him. But Joshua Kimmich himself, had been played as a right back by Pep Guardiola. There seems to be something about Kimmich that doesn't make people want to use him in midfield. But for me, he's the ideal number 6 in a midfield, 3 or 2. But I mean, for whatever reason, coaches don't like playing him in there. But Konrad Laimer and Goretzka looking good. But for me, I think that Manchester United going there, we can exploit them, but looking at how we played against Arsenal, I'm not really sure. I mean, I watched Bayern and I thought they were beatable, but after the display against Arsenal, I have to revert back to default settings. But overall, Bayern Munich, they look good overall. Leroy Sané looked a threat all game against Mönchengladbach. So, I mean, it's going to be a big game for us against Bayern in the Champions League. So let's see how it goes. And then another big news coming in this after the game against Manchester United. Erik ten Hag was interviewed by Sky Sports, I think, and they asked him about Sancho. I mean, why is Sancho not in the team? And his response is that Sancho played poorly in training, and that is why he's not been selected. I mean, for me, the public criticism of players by a manager is not good enough. It doesn't show good management to me. That's my opinion. Sancho has his problems, yes, but I don't think that it is prudent as a manager to openly criticize your player like that. And the player has come out quickly to reply the manager, which kind of takes the bells of problems in the dressing room. He says that he's been picked on, he doesn't feel it's fair, that he's been made a scapegoat consistently. And I mean, he's said his mind. It begs to differ as to who is right or who is wrong. But let's see the blowback of all this. Right now, I just don't want to say too much about this. I want to wait for after the international break, and then we will reassess the Ten Hag, Jadon Sancho, Bruhaha, and then we will see where we stand. Yeah, so I mean, that's just about it for Jadon Sancho and Erik ten Hag. Also, at the camp of Sevilla, they've just announced that Sergio Ramos has just signed for them as a free agent. Mind you, Ramos was with PSG. His contract came to an end. There were rumors about him joining clubs in Saudi Arabia and Qatar. Several Turkish clubs were interested in his signature, but he has signed for Sevilla. Mind you, he left Sevilla as a young player to join Real Madrid. Now he's back to his home. He's back to his home. So I mean, Sergio Ramos going back to Sevilla, right there. I mean, it shows the kind of player he is. That he loves football. He loves to play. He loves to be competitive, and it's sort of a character that has galvanized his whole career. The competitiveness of Sergio Ramos, and I am really happy for him that he's joined his boyhood club Sevilla. Also at the camp of Højlund, I said it looks promising. Højlund came on, and then you could see that we started having very good chances in the second half and the final third. He became a focal point where we could launch the ball at him. He's very strong. He started bullying Gabriel. Magalhaes. He took the ball, laid the ball down, created space, and then pushed the ball for Rashford to launch another attack. So for me, Højlund looks promising. I think that he's going to be very huge for us going forward. Also at the camp of Neymar spoke to O Globo Brazilian media house about his time at PSG. That he remind you that he's left PSG to play in the Saudi league, and he said that he had hell. He had hell with Messi. And Messi had went through hell at PSG. He personally has gone through several injuries. He suffered several injuries. I think overall he scored 118 goals in 173 appearances for PSG in over 3 years. So for me, I think he had a successful spell at PSG. Not every player wins the Champions League at the club that they sign for. So for me, Neymar was successful at PSG, and that is it. Of course, there was a point where the fans, the ultras of PSG went to his home to, sort of attack him, try to attack him at his home, and, tell him that he should leave their club. And so, I mean, that was one of those low moments. But for me, I think his body language, his behavior off football was what galvanized his reputation at the team rather than what he produced on the pitch. I mean, he's always injured, always trying to get injured in December so he could celebrate his sister's birthday in Brazil. Spoke negatively of his his intentions as an international as a professional player. So for me, Neymar off-field antics rather were his undoing rather than what he produced on the pitch. On the pitch, he was excellent every time, and he had only a few bad games overall in his whole career at PSG. So for me, if you ask me, I would say Neymar was hugely successful at PSG. I mean, not everybody, like I said, not everybody will win a Champions League, but some of them are termed as successful. So you don't, these days we judge so quickly and we are very harsh in our criticism. But Neymar winning the Champions League alone is not the only success in football. Okay, so I mean, if you win the Ligue 1 and you win the League French Cup, you play in the champions of the final of the Champions League. For me, you've done really well. Also, my last story for today will be a story that I saw before getting on this episode from Eurosport. Eurosport saying that Manchester United, the owners of United, the Glazers have taken United off the market. They are saying that United is no longer for sale. According to them, that they didn't get the price that they wanted for United. Mind you, they wanted somewhere around $6 billion US dollars, but they got an offer from Sheikh Jassim, the chairman of the Qatar Investment Bank. Made an offer of around roughly 5 billion. They wanted 6 billion. They didn't get that. So the rumors from Eurosport is that the Glazers have taken United off the market. But as of now, none of the bidders have been informed that United is no longer for sale. So for me, I'll treat this as a rumor, and then we will reassess the situation after the international break and see if the stories are true or not. Thank you very much for staying with me. Bye.